Alright, we're gonna make a quick overview of my mother's garden. She uses corn as a fencing, pretty much. So she separates the section of the garden with the rows of corn, but she doesn't actually use the corn. She gives it to her relative who has chickens. But corn provides shade and separates, like in this case, beans from whatever those things, kabachki. I don't remember English word right now. Man, I'm losing English like crazy. 10 days in Ukraine and my English is withering down. So here it's her field of potatoes, and as you see, potatoes already ready to go. They're pretty much ready to be harvested. But she will wait till middle of September because it's a good storage for potatoes to be in the ground, and then you just dig them up by hand. And it's always cracks me up because I spend a lot of time and a lot of energy harvesting potatoes, and my American family treats potato digging like a treasure hunt. So it always cracks me up. Here is quite a large area dedicated to tomatoes. And my mom is really good with her tomatoes. She actually sells to neighbors because neighbors spend a lot of time indoors watching TV and not much time outside in the garden. She doesn't use any weed killer, so she weeds everything by hand, puts stakes, you see, ties tomatoes up, controls their growth, and they got plenty of sun. She waters them, so her tomatoes pretty much like famous in this village. Any additional tomatoes that she doesn't sell, she turns into tomato juice. There's a pumpkin patch, and a little bit over there you could see where the corn ends. Her lot actually goes way up to the hill up there, but she slowly scaled back over the years because, you know, she's getting older. She's 71 right now, so now her garden stops right there with that line where the corn is, and here she just has pumpkins that she only uses for seeds. She likes to eat pumpkin seeds, so she gets the seeds out and the pumpkins just stay there, rot, and turn back in the soil. It's actually not the very best location for the garden because it goes uphill, so as higher it goes, less water it gets. And the soil around here is pretty sandy. It's actually better soil on the other side of the street, close to the little creek. But if you put enough cow manure and horse manure, you can get a pretty decent crop. So as I said, my mom slowly scaled back over the years. She just plants enough potatoes for herself, and that lot will cover her potato needs till next crop. Behind this corn line is the watermelon patch. Watermelons are really tiny here. They don't have any stripes. Actually, some of them right here. This is the smaller ones. We already harvested the bigger ones. Smaller ones she takes to her relative again, and that lady feeds them to the chickens. So this is Ukrainian watermelons. Now, good watermelons come from Kherson area, from down south. Here up north, this is kind of watermelons you get. She replanted cucumbers, trying to get some in the fall, but I'm not sure if she's gonna get any. Next to it, there's a row of carrots, some more beans. She planted a lot of marigolds along the perimeter of the garden, trying to protect from the whatever that animal that burrows holes on the ground. Krot in Russian. Forgot the English word again. And today, me and my son, we trimmed all the corn. See, the camera makes focus on my finger, but there was a tall corn, but my mom said if you trim it down, it will start dying out and dries out, then it's easier to pull out the ground. Because in the end of the season, when all this corn is dry, she pulls it out, piles it up, burns it, and uses the ashes for the fertilizer. Some more small watermelons. Got some beans, fasole. Another type of watermelon, dew. Forgot the word, dynya. Then some more beans. And then we got a strawberry patch. Strawberries this year didn't come up really well, my mom said. They had a really weird season. May and June were scorching hot. Temperatures reaching 90s and it was very dry. It was really hard for anything to grow. Then temperatures collapsed and became super cold and rainy for another 2 months. And basically only 2 days before we arrived, weather recovered and became warm again. And here she has a little berry bushes, already showed it in the previous video. Black currant, red currant, and some plum trees by the outhouse. Here we got a row of onions and dill. This one my mom dill is she planted middle of the season to have some fresh dill in the fall. Usually dill will be tall and ripe by now. So this is how the garden looking up. Some sweet peppers and some tomatoes here. So you see her garden is well maintained, got several paths so you can walk through the garden. Looks nice and neat.
Pop it in your mouth?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so talk about doing.
And if you love my channel and would like to show your support, please click on the link below this video and become the patron of the Ushanka Show. For as little as $1, you can help us grow and create the new, interesting videos about the life in Soviet Union.